Artur Beterbiev's promoter Bob Arum says we ain't doing a fight on Dazn, aka Dazn, because nobody watches it. And of course, he's talking about the Artur Beterbiev Dmitry Bivol undisputed fight. So he said here, one thing with Beterbiev is that now he is known to the public and so many people have seen him. We ain't doing a fight on Dazn, which nobody watches. Goes on to say, so again, we'll see. I think that when the time comes, even Eddie will have Bivol come over here and fight Beterbiev for a big audience. Goes on to say, Yard and Beterbiev will fight in London. I talked this morning with Yard's promoter Frank Warren, who will be the co-promoter there. We're planning for a big night at the O2 Arena. All right, now, we never like to hear this kind of talk from promoters. Oh, my guy's not going to fight on that network and he's not going to do this and he's not going to do that. We don't like to hear that. We like to hear promoters who are going to be fan friendly. Let's just put it that way. Obviously, Bob Arum is working in the best interests of ESPN. And ESPN want the undisputed fight because DAZN had Dmitry Bivol fight Canelo, and Dmitry Bivol's profile has grown tremendously after that Canelo win. You're obviously going to gain a whole heap of new fans, and your, as I say, profile is going to raise tremendously when you beat a star on the level of a Canelo Alvarez. Is Dmitry Bivol better known at this point than Artur Beterbiev in the United States? I suspect he is. Why wouldn't he be? Yeah, Joe Smith Jr. had a certain following, but it wasn't anything like Canelo's following. So surely Dmitry Bivol is a more well-known fighter at this point in the States, and therefore, doesn't that give DAZN the upper hand when it comes to making a potential undisputed fight with Artur Beterbiev? You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. And in terms of how this fight would be aired, would it be a pay-per-view? Does that really make sense? You got two guys from the same country in Eastern Europe. I'm concerned about even mentioning the name of the country now with the YouTube algorithm and how schizophrenic it is with all their political biases and what have you. So you know what country they're from. I saw Ryabinski, who I think still has some type of involvement with Dmitry Bivol, saying that he would like to do it over there in their native country, right? Between Bivol and Beterbiev, undisputed at light heavyweight. But he doesn't think that's particularly realistic at this time, which probably isn't. With that being said, in the US, can these guys really justify doing a pay-per-view, whether it's on ESPN or on DAZN? If they did, maybe make it very cheap. If not, on regular ESPN, an undisputed fight between Bivol and Beterbiev would probably do pretty good numbers, I would imagine. And on DAZN, less good numbers, but because of the fact DAZN is associated with Canelo, would it do better numbers than ESPN Plus, let's say? Because ESPN Plus, you could argue, is the equivalent of DAZN because it's a subscription service, right? But then again, there are going to be a lot more people on ESPN Plus because it's got more than just boxing. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Maybe Bob Arum is being reasonable here. Maybe it's not the best thing to do this fight on DAZN, but if they put the money up, that's the main thing. If they put the money up and they're able to pay the fighters more on DAZN than they can on ESPN, then it's going to be hard to tell Artur Beterbiev, no, you're not fighting over there. You know, Artur Beterbiev was in a legal issue. He had a legal issue with his former manager, or maybe it was just his promoter, excuse me, Yvonne Michel. That dragged on for a long time. He was trying to leave. He eventually managed to leave, and now he's with Bob Arum. In fact, does he still have some type of involvement with Yvonne Michel? I'm not 100% sure. But if he does, it's not as much involvement as he did before. So he's been in them kind of situations there where a promoter is trying to control him far more than he wants to be controlled. You see it? And therefore, if it were to happen again here, and Bob Arum were to say, no, 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 I don't care how many millions the zone are offering you, you're not fighting over there. That could put Artur Beterbiev back in the same situation where he's got an issue with his promoter. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully Bob Arum, even though he's a massive scumbag, we all know that, hopefully he's a bit more fighter friendly and a bit more fan friendly. And I know he's going to say that he's being fan friendly by trying to put the fight on ESPN. And to some degree he is. But if that is, a deal breaker and it jeopardizes the fight, then it's not fan friendly at all, is it? It's better in terms of how realistic it is for the fight to get made if both networks are willing, or both promoters are willing, to have their guy fight on the other promoter's network. That will obviously increase the chances of this fight happening, particularly next. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below about what Bob Arum said here. How realistic do you think it is to have this fight next? And, you still got the Canelo situation, right? Canelo's going to fight Gennady Golovkin in a trilogy fight, and then he wants the rematch with Dmitry Bivol, and maybe he still has some type of contractual, what's the word I'm looking for? Contractual right to face Bivol in a rematch, even with this Golovkin fight in between. If the contract is invalidated, some people could argue, well, Canelo doesn't really need it in writing that he gets a crack at the winner of Dmitry Bivol, Artur Beterbiev, if they fight undisputed before he gets a rematch. He doesn't really need anything in writing before then, because he's such a big star that either one of them would absolutely jump at the chance to fight Canelo anyway, particularly if he beats Golovkin in a rematch in style. So, yeah, that's perhaps the subject for another video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.